man.
Oh, that's
That's
my
his man.
guy. No, I mean,
Oh,
don't get
that's
it
your guy
twisted.
too. So yeah, you can
Oh, that's
speak
still
on that.
my guy. I mean, but
You can
I
still speak on
mean,
that too.
I ain't
He
losing
broke
no
a
sleep.
couple records today. I seen on the highlight. I think he got
Yeah,
most
100,000, 100K.
winning drives, and then he got the
Yeah,
yards, all that. I'm like,
yeah. He been past Breed. He the first player ever to have
Are
100K.
you in the league 21 years? It better be that, bro.
yeah.
Hey, but you can't slight that though.
No, I'm
He's
not.
been.
I'm
Oh,
not slight. What I'm
I'm
saying
about to
is
say,
like
don't slight him now.
it's not a slight. It's not even backhanded. It's like you're Tom Brady, bro. Like
Yeah,
you
he ready.
better. Like it's more like, yeah, bro. I
Yeah,
would expect that from Tom Brady. Like
because them first couple years, his numbers weren't like that.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was gonna be that.
It wasn't them first couple when he were them first three chips. It was all defense and running
Right.
game. It wasn't really like that. When Randy Moss got there, he started throwing the field.
Yeah.
Before that,
yeah,
it
Peyton
was.
Manning was the more coveted passing quarterback in
That's
that.
my
Mm-hmm.
guy. Peyton Manning and
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers is my guy, but
yeah.
I
My
can't
Randy
say
was just
second,
Randy
my
was just getting
him
dubs.
under
son, I
Brady.
named him Peyton after Peyton Manning. Like that's my favorite quarterback. Like of
That's
all.
my favorite quarterback too, but yeah,
I,
Tom Brady is king.
I ain't never mad at Peyton, man. I ain't never mad at Peyton.
You
TB
can't.
my dude. TB my dude because he played for my team, so he always my
Yeah,
guy.
facts. He's him. He's him.
Yeah, he's my
I've
guy.
never been mad at Tom Brady. I ain't never been mad at the Patriots Super Bowl, to be honest, because like when they beat the Seahawks, I was so happy because I hated the Seahawks. Like I don't like Richard Sherman. I don't.
Especially that Russell Wilson that came out and been a straight squareopolis. He is a weirdo. Bro, what
Yeah,
is wrong with this guy, bro?
Broncos
yeah,
country.
yeah. Let's ride. Let's ride.
That's right.
Sierra done put a root on it, man.
I don't know what you
I
did. You
don't
did
know,
something
man.
to
I don't know, cause he is. I don't know, cause all this like Richard Sherman and all them dudes like, yeah, we trying to tell y'all. And
him. Didn't DK Metcalf say that in the Shannon Sharp interview or
I
something like
mean,
that? He said that Russell Wilson was weird. He said that. I think he said that.
yeah. He said because Shannon asked him like, how come you think everybody be on him? Because he was like, but I mean, he quiet, he's to himself, yada
Yeah,
yada yada. But I think what he was trying to say is like, no, bro, low key kind of weird because
he weird.
Richard Sherman and Marshawn Lynch, bro, Marshawn wasn't going on him that much. But like, if you ever look up the podcast with Richard Sherman and KJ Wright, they was dogging Russell Wilson.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's on Richard Sherman's podcast, man. They was going at Russ. They was like,
I
yeah,
gotta
bro,
check.
weird. They was like, bro, weirdo. They was
I
like,
gotta check it.
he been on that kind of time. They was like, yeah, they was happy for Pete Carroll. Like, yeah, you see Seattle, they better now without him, and I mean, they really is. Seattle really nice.
6-3, bro. They 6-3.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Keith.
Shout out to the black man because they
Shout out
Yep.
to the black
Yep.
man.
we only get one time to shine.
Yep.
After
Yeah,
that,
shout out
Shout
to the
out to
black
Geno
man.
Smith. I ain't never
Geno
been no
Smith.
Geno Smith fan.
Oh, never.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
prove me
But
wrong.
the way that they had this man out the league, they had him
Yeah.
out the league.
Yeah,
He went to Seattle to die.
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and
That's it.
Pete Carroll is a competitive guy. He's like, you saw what he did with USC. Again, like college football, like, yeah, it's not the same as the NFL. But if you see a winner's mentality, that you can't ever lose that. You can't win. You can't lose that. You will always want to compete. And then for Coach Carroll to win a Super Bowl, like he knows what it takes.
He knows exactly what it takes.
He knows what it takes. Like getting a succinct offense and defense where we both doing the job.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they was doing in Seattle before. They were putting up numbers on offense and defense, bro. It was all cylinders. Because I feel like a guy like Pete Carroll, he has a system that you could probably buy into. Like, if you follow it. If you let it
Geno did. Proof. Yeah. Facts.
Proof is always there with the rings and the hardware.
I agree, man. Y'all on here, man. Pull up, let's chop, man. Appreciate my ones and my twos. You know what I'm saying? Trey and Moose for pulling up. I ain't get a chance to catch no games. I ain't even get a chance to see no highlights for real. I was calling Tice. Tice said matter of fact, he was driving back from Cleveland as we speak. He started rambling off the highlights because it was his first time seeing because he ain't had no service where he was in Cleveland. So he didn't know that the Raiders lost. I mean, he didn't know none of that stuff. So while he driving, he looking, and we talking about it on the phone. And I'm like, bro, So I see there's a couple people that's not coming on the show if they just lost. I know. So I'm like, I don't know. So I'm like, I ain't get a chance. So I'm like, yo, I'm a guide it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and get y'all's off. But all I know and all I remember is I have a living man on the screen that was dead last night that said I'm gonna come out the grave like Undertaker to handle my bit, and that man did that. I seen that.
Hey, what
That.
Undertaker do?
I seen that. I seen that, and I heard Baker Mayfield was playing today. Talk to
Hey,
me. I ain't
Baker
even
Mayfield came in like he always does, trying to ruin the Bengals' day. He tried. You tried, bro. But luckily for us, we put 35 of them things on you
That's
at
crazy.
halftime.
My gosh.
And then took our quarterback out with a big flex, like, sit it down, buddy. You're
Wow.
good. We get your start Googling where you want to go for vacation during this bye week. Maybe you want to go back to LSU and celebrate the big win over this past
Over
week.
to Bama. I didn't see that either, but I
Yeah,
heard
that was crazy. That was crazy.
That's crazy.
But
Crazy game.
it's funny because it's just us, us three on this phone,
Yeah.
on this live. Because the thing is, like, the person that's supposed to be here, I knew
He stirred.
wasn't going, bro. I knew, like,
He was chirping.
Ro, the resident Carolina Panther fan, since coming on to the show,
Right.
has had so many expert analysis takes based upon Madden and a couple of ESPN blurbs
That's
that
funny.
come across the screen, just regurgitating things that none of us believe in. He told me that his Panthers, like he said with confidence, and of course, the homie Moose pointed out the fact only thing that Roe is gonna do is then try to attribute all of his trash talking to, oh, I was just trolling.
Yeah,
No,
totally.
No. For one, yes, you are trolling because you say a lot of things that are not factual and are just points to agitate people. But the thing of it all is, in the midst of you being a troll, you are a Panthers fan.
That's a fact.
So
like that.
with you being a Panthers fan, and I said this several weeks ago, stay in the Panthers place. I got all kind of just, 1-2. Moose is good at it too. Very quick with it. So when I told him to stay in the Panthers place, I meant that. No, I meant that. I meant that in a way because if you don't stop talking, I'm going to just let my team do the talking. And in the beginning of the game, I remember it being like 14-0, and I was like, y'all not even coming back from this, bro. 14-0 is too much of a deficit for y'all to even fight back. This is just going to get uglier and uglier. Shout out to Joe Mixon. Again, it's just like when we beat the Falcons. My whole take was we're not going to overly celebrate beating the team that we're supposed to beat, but I am satisfied that we put like a beating on them. Like, not like on some, like, y'all not even supposed to be out here.
That's fact.
Facts.
Whoever this PJ Washington guy is, and we were just talking about black.
That's the PJs I know.
That's the PJ I know. That's the PJ I know.
There we go.
Welcome to the PJ.
Thank you.
Them is the PJs I know.
Thank you. That's a classic show.
That's hilarious.
And I felt like we were watching some type of comedy today because honestly, like, and one of my best friends is a Carolina Panther fan, and I talked to him on Friday night. He said, bro, don't be calling me even trying to start. And he's from Carolina, from the root of it, like from the beginning of in 96 when they came in. He's been there. Like, he watched the stadium get built and all of that. So he's been there. So he told me. And I was like, that's all I need to know. I'm going to just not even worry about it. Normally, I charge a couple people up with a couple posts. I'm like, bro, don't do that. Because, like, you kicking somebody that's already down.
They're already down, bro. They're already down. You're not a bully like that.
I'm not a bully like that. Now, like I'll admit, I do enjoy occasional bullying because bullying it equalizes out society.
It does.
Where you have to put people in their place. It's really just just redesigning somebody to understand who they are. That's what bullying really is. Let me remind you, because you're talking crazy. So, Ro, at the end of the day, like I know, and you knew that you didn't believe that this team of yours was ever going to y'all didn't even compete.
Yeah, at all.
You ain't even pinch the bitch.
Boo-boo.
He still owes me $20. I'm still waiting for my cash app to go off.
Bro, that wedding ain't it ain't going like that.
And he got his phone in his hand. He got his phone in his hand.
It ain't going like that, man.
Send me my bread.
Like that.
He probably at the crib on Madden, probably.
Right now.
When you got a little private ceremony, last about
nobody there. Nobody there. Y'all did it at the court, just as a beat.
Right.
Nobody even there.
Right.
Roy want to show up.
Y'all did that on the steps of the courthouse, real quick. Boom, boom, boom.
I just need my 20, man. You continue on doing what you're doing after I get my $20. Just continue. I need to put gas in the car. With your bread.
Ro wanted to bet me push-ups, and I'm like, okay, like I'll bet somebody when I believe there's an odds chance, right? Mm-hmm. Like maybe if I bet, I might have to do something. Right. Ro, if you wanted to do push-ups, just get on the exercise routine.
Do it, yeah. Right.
Don't bet against the Bengals.
Yeah, don't do that. Especially against y'all.
With y'all.
Against them, right.
I'm not. I mean, we're 5-4, middle of the road team right now, trying to figure everything out. But we weren't gonna lose to y'all.
Mixon went crazy on them.
5 touchdowns, franchise record. We talk about record setting. My running back had a record setting day today because. I mean, we don't have to go to the air when they have a completely depleted defense.
Right, that's true.
Name me one defender from the Carolina Panthers.
What's his name?
Brian Burns. That's Brian Burns.
That's it. Because I got him on my fantasy. He got me some points.
Boy, Malcolm Brown. I think his name Malcolm Brown from Auburn. That's about it. He played D tackle.
Ain't nobody else. Ain't nobody.
That's about it. Chin, safety. They got some young pieces, but they ain't there yet.
I like Burns. Burns ready to go. He don't want to be there. He ready to leave. He wanted to be a part of the trade back.
No, he's staying. He ain't going nowhere. They ain't trading that boy.
That's crazy, man.
They'll be done to trade him.
The craziest game of today, because we can get off talking about the Bengals.
Yeah, I was about to ask him about his Patriots. Who did y'all
play? Man. You can go ahead and ask, man. We played the sorry Indianapolis Colts, put them out their misery with Sam Ellinger.
What was the score?
26-3 or 29-3.
Okay.
Defense put it on it. Matt Judon once again put on a phenomenal performance. Looking like almost like a defensive player of the year for he got 10.5 sacks. I think he leads the league, or he like top 3 in the league. He had his second game with 2 sacks. Our defense had like 9 sacks. Defense got after it. Mac Jones still looked pitiful. Didn't turn the ball over, but he still looked pitiful. We got a bye week this week. We have a humongous game against the Jets. Humongous game. AFC East is airtight. I mean, with the Bills losing today, did not expect the Bills to lose today, but with the Bills losing today, you got the Bills at 6-2, and then you got the Fins and the Jets at 6-3, and then you got us at 5-4. So everything is like separated by a game or two between like first and second and wild card berth. So this game is big. I got full belief in us at home against the Jets in 2 weeks. Full belief in Bill Belichick to lock up Zach Wilson, because Zach Wilson, he really is. He's not good. The Jets have a really good young roster. I just don't believe in Zach Wilson. Mm-hmm. I believe Bill Belichick is going to devise a plan to do what he did, what we did to them last week, which was lock them up defensively. So my worry with the Pats is offensively. This offseason, like I said before, putting Matt Patricia in any type of coaching role is crazy, but putting him in the offensive role is even crazier.
Right.
So I have little to no faith in our offense. And here's the thing, and I'll say this about Mac Jones, man.
Mhm.
I'm not done on Mac Jones. This is what I'll say. Mac Jones had an offensive coordinator last year in Josh McDaniels, an actual offensive play caller. Not a head coach, but an offensive play caller. And he was a Pro Bowler last year. I read his numbers off. He had 3,800 yards, 22 tubs, like 12 picks, had like a 95 passer rating, had a really, really good year last year. Fell off the cliff this year, with injury, but then Matt Patricia's play calling. With him, it doesn't seem to do well. With Zappy, it looks better. But for me right now, look, offensively, I'm worried. I had us beginning of this year. I had us at best wild card berth, getting beat wild card. At worst, like losing 7 or probably losing 9 games. And then get prepared for next year. We got a whole bunch of cap space. So like I said, man, I love where we're at defensively. Defensively, we're getting after the quarterback. I love where we're at defensively. Offensively, I'm worried, but hey, we got a bye week. Get Mac healthy. Try to get this offense type of rhythm, and we'll see the Jets, man. So that's where I'm at, man. Go Pats, go, man.
All right, man. We got a homie said I believe the Niners is going to come out the bye week and make noise. What y'all think? What's y'all opinion on that? I mean, you said what? I'm muted.
No, Trey.
My bad. Who do the Niners have up next off the bye week?
I don't even know, bro.
Hold on, I'll look real quick. Hold on.
Let me just know who they got.
I know they
got the Chargers on I think Thursday night.
That's a clean win.
No. Thursday night is spicy.
Thursday nights has not been.
Thursday nights be terrible.
That's a spooky game.
Yeah, Thursday nights up and down. It's either a blowout or a close game. Yeah, you're right.
Oh wait, hold on.
Thursday nights get spooky.
No, it's Sunday night football. It's on the 13th, so it's cool. It's Sunday night. So because Sunday night.
49ers play really good on Sunday night.
They do. How do y'all feel about the Chargers?
I don't like them.
They're in I lived in San Diego for 3 years, bro.
So I love Herbert.
And it's just like
my favorite quarterback in the league.
I'm like, what's so crazy? So, I'm really big on football, and I was big on following LaDainian Tomlinson during that time with Drew Brees, and then when Phillip Rivers took over. After they were always a middle of the road team. I remember the first game when I moved to San Diego, they played the Ravens, and I went to the game, and it was the hey diddle diddle Ray Rice up the middle play, where it was a 40-yard last second play to win the game. Because they said, Ray, what was that play? And he said, hey diddle diddle Ray Rice up the middle. And I was like, bruh, wow. I'm not about to waste money going to these games with this type of atmosphere, because for the most part, when the San Diego Chargers would play, I remember they played the Dallas Cowboys, and there was more Cowboys fans at Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego than it was Chargers fans. So that's why they're not in San Diego. But my whole thing is I've never understood they got one of the best receivers if he could have ever stayed healthy. Keenan Allen is a dog, bro.
He's a dog.
No, seriously, I feel like he was Julio Jones status. Any tall receiver that can get out, take good hits, go across the middle, play slot backs, play split in. But Keenan Allen has never been healthy a full season.
Yeah, Antonio Gates too.
Antonio Gates, Hall of Famer tight end. Shout out to Kent State. Didn't even play football until he got to Kent State.
Right.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
But the Chargers, I've never understood why they are really highly regarded, because they really put their quarterback in a really high class of, they try to, match him up even with Joe Burrow. I don't like the Chargers. I don't like the Chargers because I don't get them, because they're not good.
Right, yeah.
I'll say this.
First
of all, I love Justin Herbert.
I do too.
Really?
I'll say this. Yeah, I do. Look
Him and Joe Burrow is my two favorite quarterbacks.
I'll say this. I think the Chargers always come in overhyped, specifically this year. Excuse me. On paper, I think they're really, really good.
Right.
They've had a lot of injuries. Like Joey Bosa's been hurt.
Yeah.
Khalil Mack is not. Khalil Mack, his prime is over. So like he's not that guy like he used to be.
His prime lasted that long.
His prime was his. I mean, the thing was when he was dogging in Oakland, nobody knew because Oakland
was Buzz.
And then with Chicago, he got Defensive Player of the Year, and they had one great year, and they lost on the last second field goal to I think Seattle or Minnesota or one of them teams. Yeah. But the Chargers, I mean, they're never healthy. Their young tackle Austin Slater out of Northwest they had last year, all pro guy, beast dog, ain't been healthy all year. Austin Eckler is okay, at running back, but he's not a dog, but he ain't
that guy though.
He's good. He's not that guy though. I honestly think they need a head coach. They need a guy that's gonna take them over. Their coach is cool, but like he just seems too much like a guy. Like I watched I think it might have been HBO Hard Knocks, something they was on. And I was just watching him interact, and I'm like, man, he's not really like a guy. Like he's just like a friend. Like, hey, what's up, man? That's coach over there. Blah, blah, blah. Like he don't seem like a guy like they respect, like a coach. I was seeing some rumors they were talking about getting Sean Payton in there. I don't know how Sean Payton with Justin Herbert would do, but
Sean Payton gonna go to Las Vegas.
He better.
If he go to Vegas, Derek Carr out of there.
Yeah, he's gone.
Because Derek Carr. Can you imagine Derek Carr with Sean Payton?
He's gone. He's gone.
He's gone. But yeah, that's. I mean, the 49ers should win that though. 49ers should win that. Y'all
should win that by. What's homie's name? Kilo. Like I'm gonna give your 49ers. Because I mean, y'all just figuring out an offense with McCaffrey. Y'all had a bye week to figure it out even more. That's scary. Y'all might come out like. And
Debo will be back, right? Yeah. Want to be back that week?
I think so.
Yeah, he'll be
they gonna be scary.
I'm talking about they gonna be firing in all, and then their defense. We know what their defense is about.
Yeah, facts.
With a depleted Chargers offense that is going to really be run reliant, the 49ers got a chance of like routing the Chargers for real.
True.
Yeah, they definitely got a chance. I mean, they barely won today. They barely beat Atlanta. They beat Atlanta last second field goal. So
yeah,
I mean, that's for damn. That's for damn sure.
They can't catch, but I'm dying. Let me not talk so loud. I'm in my garage. I'm in Georgia, so let me not
talk. No, talk loud as you want.
Right. Atlanta. Because y'all ain't.
What was that? Trey, what was that game you said was the game?
The Bills, and the Jets was the craziest.
How did that happen? What happened with that? I didn't even.
Crazy. So there was, take everybody, that's watching behind the curtains to our debate chat, and there was discussions about talent. Like, well, the Bills have the talent to beat the Jets. I mean, yes, but if your talent isn't playing to its capability, then your talent means nothing. Your adjustment means everything. Your adjustments to make the talent work harder. The Bills played the Jets like they were the Jets that played the Bengals, and they're not. I'm so glad we wiped the Jets off our little list to get out of here before y'all start figuring out what these young players were capable of. Yeah. Zach Wilson, like Moose is saying, he's at least a game manager. Because their running back is a complete animal.
And their best one is hurt. Brees
Hall. Their best one is hurt. Bryce? What's his name?
Brees Hall.
Brees
Hall. Yeah. They just got our boy Jay Robinson from the Jags, but
yeah.
But it seems like their offense is set to protect more of a run heavy offense.
True.
And what they weren't prepared for. And I'm glad that the Bills got beat because if the Bills would have won this game, they would have acted like Josh Allen was. I mean, and Josh Allen is, one of the top 5 featured quarterbacks this season,
Uh-huh.
but there's a way to beat the Bills, and it was just proof you got to play with more heart than the Bills. The Bills, to me, Buffalo being like a blue collar city, gritty on the field, y'all are a finesse football team though. Y'all play fast, run fast, get around things offensively. I think the Bills defense, after a while, it's cute to think, oh, they got Von Miller. Von Miller is old, bruh. Von Miller is eventually going to wear down to the point where he's still going to be him, but you can't just go off of the fact of that. And I think the Bills were missing two defensive linemen today on the field. That could have affected the game as well. But I think when it comes to heart, I think the Jets play with more heart. And I think it was a wake-up call to the Bills that your high-paced, fast-paced offense ain't going to be enough to just keep sliding and gliding on these games. Because once you get punched in your face, what are you going to do? And I didn't see them respond because that's all the Jets were doing today. I was watching my game and the Jets and Bills game at the same time. Yeah. I was seeing the Bills constantly being punched in the face and not answering back
at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bill provided the blueprint for the Bills last season when we beat them and we passed the ball twice, and we had like 300 yards rushing. So I mean, I think we provided the blueprint for that, and it's good to see people follow suit. Like they can't stop the run, so when you got good offensive line play, so I mean, yeah, they stopped it for sure. I definitely agree. I think the only team they can do that with is the Chiefs because the Chiefs defense is mediocre, but they can be mediocre. They got an offense like that.
But they got an offense that can score 56 points.
But I agree. But I'll say this though, the Bills do too, because people have discovered a way to slow down Patrick Mahomes.
That's what I'm saying. Once you slow them down, because again, you said the Chiefs and the Bills, they play at such a high rate. I remember watching the game, and my fiance, who's she's a casual football fan. So she's like, I like the Bengals because you like the Bengals. So she compared to what she saw with the Bengals, especially the first 2 weeks. She's like, our team don't look nothing like that. Look how fast they moving.
Right.
They're fast-paced because they're allowed to be fast-paced because no one is slowing them down. You slow that down and you make them make real-time adjustments. They're not doing that. Stephon Diggs only had one reception that was taken away because of a flag in the second half. We can talk about that, though. We talk about him. That boy Sauce Gardner.
Wow.
He got a little bit of Himothy in him.
He do. He long, rangy. I mean, nobody got a sub on him at college.
6'4".
6'4". He long. Yeah, I mean, he gonna be a dog. That's for sure. That's for sure, man.
He got some Himothy in him. I just think it was crazy because everybody was looking like, well, what are the Bills gonna do? They're gonna lose. What are y'all talking about? Well, they're so talented. But don't again, a lot of people say stuff like that, like go sit on the couch with my fiance and enjoy the game so I can explain it to you. Have a seat next to her so I can give a better explanation. No disrespect because it's just that she's a casual fan. And I feel like when you say stuff like, well, they're so talented, you just looking on a piece of paper. You looking at what they should be doing based upon, oh, well, they did that against them. Every week you got to make an adjustment of who is in front of you.
Right, that's true.
And it's a divisional game, bro. Yeah. That's another thing. I don't after this bye, we playing the Steelers. Guess what? We better not play them like we did last time. I don't care how sorry the Steelers are. These divisional games
are different.
They had a bye week too. They had a bye week too.
Yeah, divisional games are way harder. That's why I was when Roe was talking crazy. Oh yeah, the Jets. I'm like, bro, we done beat the Jets 16 straight times, bro. But trust me, most of them was all bangers. Even when Brady was there. Outside of the butt fumble game, because we blew their backs out. But outside of that, I mean, them Jets games is always good because the Jets they always have a good defense when they had the
That
Rex
Rex
Ryan
Ryan
year.
era, the Jets, like y'all were beating them, but them games,
They was
y'all
bangers.
y'all had to prepare. I don't think the Buffalo Bills prepared for the current New York Jets. They prepared for the Jets that they thought they were.
Yeah. Or do you feel that the Bills was just a slap bit too cocky, so they looked past them? Like,
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I
Oh,
mean.
yeah.
Ultimately, that's what I mean. But all right, y'all.
Josh Allen played trash. He played boo boo.
I'm talking.
He played terrible.
Stephon Diggs had no receptions in the second half.
Yeah, I didn't even see it, but that sounds crazy.
You can't win.
Sauce was locking him.
You can't win like that.
That's crazy.
The Bills will bounce back.
Bills is definitely gonna bounce back, but it's just interesting to see a team come back down to earth, though. It's interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, same with the Chiefs and the Colts earlier. You know, there's a that's why in the chat when I said there are 3 elite teams. The elite is in the context of this season. Like, are the 3 best? The 3 best teams are Philly, the Chiefs, and Buffalo. Minnesota. I don't think.
I'm not sold on them, but
I think record wise,
yeah, record wise, yeah.
But I think overall as a team, I think Minnesota is like right there beneath them. I don't think Minnesota is as good as those 3 teams. Maybe Philly, because they won. They almost lost those. But the Commanders though. Yeah, Heineke though. That's what I was trying to tell you. The Commanders respond to him, like they respond well to him. So like their team rallies around him. So just start him and just move on. But like Minnesota, with Philly, I'm not a big believer in Philly quite yet. Philly has the weakest schedule. I mean, you only play with the schedule you're given, but I'm not sold on them quite yet. Now the NFC is supremely weak. The NFC is trash. So
amen.
They better coast to the conference championship, possibly the Super Bowl.
That's
because the NFC is garbazo beans.
Yeah.
So I mean they better. But the AFC, whoever come out, I think the AFC is gonna win it. Whoever come out of it, don't matter who it is.
The AFC is just so tough, man.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's supremely tough. I mean, because I'm not. Ain't nobody counting out Cincy. I mean, I'm not. I'm sure not. They got that killer back there.
We had the same record going into the bye week last season. I'm not saying that's indicative of what
I didn't even know that.
Same exact record.
That's why people were shocked. They made it all the way.
Same exact type of trajectory where you would see them playing on all cylinders and then lose a game that everybody thought that they should have won. Or at least I didn't go into the Browns game with overt confidence again because it's a division game and it's a rival game. It's a rivalry game.
Yep.
But the thing that disappoints me as a Bengals fan is when we can get beat by y'all, but at least show up to compete. And a lot of times we get into these weird holes of I think Zach Taylor is that SpongeBob meme when the walls is just closing in on him, he can't see nothing around him. He go for it on 4th and 2 in the third quarter.
Why? Yeah.
Kick a field goal, bro. Let's get off the field. Let's take 3 and get off the field, bro. Right. That 3 would have again when we computed. Other than the Browns loss was the worst loss that we had this season. Other than that, you computed the 3 losses that we had. It computed to up to 6 points altogether.
Right.
2, 3, 2. Bruh, it's the little things when our back's against the wall that we don't do right. And that's why we are doubted the most, because when the lights are on, it seems like we shrink. But then our mentality changed in the second half of the season. For us, we had the bye week, get your injuries all together. Jamar, I don't want him to come back against the Steelers, to be honest. Like, we could go the 4 weeks at least, because they did 4 to 6 weeks. I don't want him coming back on the 4th week and then losing him for the rest of the season.
Right. I agree.
So, again, like, a lot of times, like, people like say, well, history repeats itself. Like, if history repeats itself, y'all better be very aware that the Bengals could pull something off. And the way we was running the rock today.
Yes, they was looking there. For what I seen in the highlights, I was like, oh.
He'll be back. Jamar Chase will be back against us Christmas Eve.
Listen,
I got that circle.
Listen, if history repeats itself, I have no problems with history repeating itself. That means the Browns get another win against them, and they can go to the Super Bowl. Well,
man, no.
Got him twice.
Listen,
again.
Listen, Beezy, I will jump back into the hole that you dug for me last Monday if the Browns beat me. So then I can come up out that grave.
Go to
the ship. Go straight to the
ship. That sounds like a Browns fan, man.
That's like, yo, brother, we get ours, bro.
And then Browns fans was getting mad at me. I'm like, anytime y'all beat us is a moral victory. Oh, you're triggered. You're mad. No, I talk facts, bro. I like, yes, we're all emotional creatures, but I negate all emotions when I talk about sports because, I mean, we can see how I get. Like, so I've learned to separate that. But if you would have saw me during that Monday night game, bro, like I was out here in the garage. Ain't no TV in my garage, bro. I wasn't even watching the game. I was just sitting here like. My girl texted me like, "Did you leave?" Like, no, I'm in the garage.
I'm here. I ain't went nowhere.
Baby, you know I ain't going nowhere, man. I'm just sad, bro.
Oh my man, that's crazy. Speaking of sad, so go ahead. I was gonna say something about college football for a moment.
Okay, go ahead.
Because this is college football. I feel like a lot happened this weekend.
Oh yeah,
a lot happened.
Yeah,
a lot. I was
everything that happened too.
Yeah, I was locked in. I was locked in. So I mean, number one, I mean, I'm not gonna say this, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna ask it. Does college football feel like it has more parity to it now? Like to where like more parity. We're like for example, we're just coming off the heels of like Bama. We like you could pencil Bama in the Natty for the last 10 years.
Right, yeah.
The last 10 to 12 years, you pencil Bama in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, Bama gonna be in the Peach Bowl this year.
Yeah,
if they in the Peach Bowl, I might go up the road to see them boys.
You should, and they probably gonna buy 50 because they're gonna be irritated and mad because they don't want to be in the Peach Bowl. Great, but do you think it's more parity now in college football? More do you feel like it's returning back to its roots, like to what it used to be?
It's a good question.
I think that you get a Alabama, you get the Clemson, because it looked like Clemson was about to start their Alabama, run of championships, right? Yeah. But the beautiful thing about college football is like you draft just a whole wave.
NIL deals too.
One wave goes in, one wave goes out. It's just ebb and flow. It's really just an ebb and flow, and it's not so much of like parody or like an anomaly of any sort. I think it's just like the wave has pushed Alabama out, and like you get Brian Kelly, he came to LSU. So LSU doesn't have the same mentality that they did last season because the coach changes the whole team's concept and the mentality. Mm-hmm. Brian Kelly already has a chip on his shoulder because of what happened with him in Notre Dame and Alabama, because it looked like, again, Notre Dame, and we all know like with Manti Te'o, he had everything going on with him, but it just looked like they didn't even deserve to be there. So Brian Kelly comes to LSU, adopts a weird like Cajun accent, and really gets everybody to like buy off on it though. They bought they bought it. They bought it, And to the point where now I'm looking like, well, is the SEC even really that good? Because like they always try to tell me like the strength and schedule of the SEC, but like the dominant teams really aren't that dominant the way that they should be in conference, in my opinion. Alabama had no business losing to LSU, if you ask me. But I think it's just again, it's like the Bills and the Jets. It's what you believe.
I don't know. I'll say this before I get to my big point because I want to. Yeah, I have like a State of Union address I want to say. Real quick. This is one of the worst Bama teams I've seen in a long time. So number one, they have no receivers. Their receivers are buns. They have like their receivers are like okay, right? They even got a receiver that transferred from Georgia last year to Bama. But anyway,
Yeah.
Number 3, I think that's what his number is. Like
Which
they're
is
like
weird. Why would you do that?
Why? I have no idea. Outside of Will Anderson on defense, everybody else is like okay. Like, and then the middle linebacker is cool, but like everybody, like their secondary is trash. Like it is awful. It's terrible. And I thought that before the UT game, before old boy put 5 on. So LSU, like I didn't see LSU winning, of course. But as I watched the game and as I remember how Brian Kelly's offense is, and I remember what Bama's kryptonite is offensively, which is a mobile quarterback, I was like, LSU may have a chance. And I mean, they won it. They won it in Baton Rouge. So it's interesting. But I asked that question. Go ahead.
Who else lost though? Because everybody was like, it's upset weekend.
Clemson got dog walked by Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Really?
They got smoked.
Hey, shout out to Notre Dame. Good job because
and I hate Notre Dame. Shout out to them.
For the sake of the Buckeyes' strength of schedule, y'all just helped us out tremendously. Thank you.
Yeah, you a Buckeyes fan, so that's facts. But shout out to this Marcus Freeman because they was gonna put that boy out to slaughter because he got a short. This is why I say that, bro. He a brother. Think about Kyle Whittingham. Nottingham.
I was just about to say they last black coach got no chance to recruit his own class
at all. And that's what I'm saying. And then also Notre Dame lives in the past. Notre Dame recruits legacy kids or very intelligent kids. They don't recruit no dogs because they can't because their academic standards are too high. So like either you want to be really good at football or you want to be good enough to make it to maybe a playoff every 2 or 3 years or make it to a good bowl game. And that's it. But you're never going to win a natty.
Do you want to have some fun and get a degree and go be a model?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You're going to go to Notre Dame for sure. But like, Notre Dame is, but shout out to them. I brought Marcus Freeman some more time because they lost to Clemson and they was going to put that ball. They was going to put that ball to the chopping block. But I'm going to say this, man. I'm going to say this is my, because this is going, because I'm happy you brought up Brian Kelly. And I'm going to just put it out there. I'm going to say it with my chest because y'all know me. Win, lose, or draw, I'm going to rep my squad. But this is my State of the Union for my team. I loved them since I was 9 years old, since I was a little boy. I've seen a lot of winning, but the past, I want to say 12, 15 years, I've seen a lot of losing. What I witnessed last night as a Miami Hurricanes fan hurt me to the core. And this is what I'm going to talk about. We got dog walked by this team called Florida State, which I hate. Burning passion. I hate them just as much as I hatefully respect McKinley, but I hate Florida State with a passion. So let me just say this. Let me just say this about the U, about my love for the U. So, number one, I believe Mario Cristobal is the right guy for the job. If it wasn't him, it was Lane Kiffin. But Lane Kiffin would have been down there snorting coke and stuff in Miami, and it would have just been a mess. He would have been. Look, Lane is in the right spot in Oxford, Mississippi, and keep him out of trouble. Miami,
he couldn't even do it in Tennessee because, he would
have gotten too much trouble. So Coach Cristobal is the right guy for the job. I am no denial of that. Miami finally got in their pockets. They hired Radakovich, an AD from Clemson, brought him back home. They got all the right people in the right places back home. But what I saw last night was indicative of what we've been, and this is what I mean. Kids that are there based off of the legacy that the past has built, while not focusing on building their own legacy to contribute to the great legacy of Miami football.
Got you.
That was
who that sound like? Who that sound like locally?
McKinley. That was putrid. That was awful. That was one of the worst. Matter of fact, that was the worst Miami performance I've ever seen in any game, but specifically against the Florida State Bums I've ever seen in my life. I turned it off after halftime. I didn't even watch it anymore because I was so angry and just ticked off. I have hope. We have a top 5 recruiting class coming in. We just flipped the number 1 DB in the nation coming in next year. So Mario Cristobal is a phenomenal recruiter. I have no doubts in that. But Josh Gaddis, any Michigan fans out there, please take him back. He is awful as a play caller. He tried to bring this run-style offense from up north down south for all these boys run and run fast. And it do not work. So Michigan, please take him back. That's my State of the Union address for the Miami Hurricanes. I needed to get this off my chest. I pride myself in not getting angry at sports anymore.
Right.
But last night made me supremely angry to the point where I wanted to hang up my Miami jersey for the rest of my life. But it's all about the Canes still all day, man. I still love my Canes, man.
Hey, shout out to the U, man. The U meant so much to me as a kid. Like, you know, I've always been a Buckeye, but I mean, you just appreciate like just swag, like.
And they
that's
had.
Why I love the U, man. That's why they like the Ohio State. Man.
They had it.
They
like,
had it.
Button up for me.
I'd like to address the college football world. Since the Georgia Bulldogs went on and reminded the Volunteers, like,
what happened with that? What game you talking about?
Georgia,
UT, University of Tennessee, was ranked number 1 based upon them beating Alabama.
Oh shoot!
But they beat 5 ranked opponents this year. UT is good.
UT is good, but this is my State of the Union. Can we stop disrespecting CJ Stroud? Can we stop now, or does he have to just win it all finally? Because I mean, it's not like he hasn't performed all season. It's not like he's not breaking records all season. We talking about a guy, Hooker, who is 29 years old or something.
24, man. He's 24, man. Don't hate on that kid like that, man.
Hooker graduated from high school in 1997.
Don't do hate Hooker like that, man.
He went back to school. He got a couple credits left. He playing quarterback now. You've done a phenomenal job. Shout out to UT. Shout out to their coach. They changed the whole just outlook of what Tennessee football is, because they haven't really been much since T. Martin. But the disrespect as far as like Heisman talk has to stop. It has to stop. There's only one player who has, without a doubt, week in and week out, led his team to victory. There's not even been a question, right? We played against Northwestern, and the wind was going 50 miles per hour, and CJ was still throwing the ball downfield. And the only reason why we weren't getting receptions is because the receivers were dropping the balls. And from what the inside report that I heard, the receivers was like, well, we didn't expect the ball to get to us. So about it, like the wind was blowing so hard, they running their routes, turning around. They like, oh, the ball is here. I thought it was gonna get blown in the wind. Or stop disrespecting CJ Stroud. Stop. Like, I know it's easy to hate on the Buckeyes, you know, but it's also easy to love us because we're undefeated. We beat teams that we're supposed to. There has been no question. We got Indiana, we got Maryland, and then we got those hoes up north. And then we got the Big Ten championship, and we'll find our place in the playoffs. Who's beating us? Who's beating us?
Wait, time out. Okay, hold on. And I once again, you know I'm a fan of, so I'm not a fan of leaving these things. You think you about to walk over Michigan though?
We're not gonna walk.
I'm about to say, because I don't think you're gonna.
We're not gonna walk. We're gonna sprint.
Oh, hey, listen, Troy. I want you to come back to this conversation if Michigan get at y'all again.
I can't because that's something I can't separate myself from. It's too personal for me. It's way too personal for me there. I don't know.
I'm gonna just tell you, turn your notifications off if Michigan win again, because it is my business to troll all Ohio State fans.
Last year when we lost, I turned my phone off and look, Beezy, I was over CJ's house.
Oh yeah,
I was over CJ's house.
Oh yeah,
he lived right up the street from me.
Yeah,
so, we both big Buckeyes. I'm just in his basement looking at him like, all right, bro, I'm about to go, man. He like, you straight? I'm like, I'm really just not trying to cry in your basement, man. As a grown man, I like to cry in my own house. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy, bro.
I can't. I won't. I would not, even though it's not happening this season, I wouldn't be able to take a loss.
You sound really confident that UM is not going to beat y'all.
Moose, we've known each other for a short time. When have I not?
I understand that. I know you've been confident. I understand that. But I'm just saying, like, I
know they're going to give us everything they want and everything that they got, especially in that running back that they got.
Michigan is nice, man. That's the only thing.
Michigan does everything. Like, they run the ball really well, which can slow your offense down.
That's the only thing I'm saying.
They run the ball really, really well.
But what about the quick strikes down the field that we like?
I hear you. I respect that.
We haven't even had our best. We haven't even had our best receiver. Everybody is now just looking at young Marv.
I feel you.
Who's been there? He's been there. So, and Jibba is the guy. We didn't have our second running back. We have not played with a full team yet, and yet we have yet. No one's questioned us yet.
Respect, but I'm just saying, you don't scoff at UM, because if UM beat y'all
as a Buckeye,
I feel you, because I saw Florida State. I feel
exactly. Like, you can't, Moose. We not gonna do that. Like, of course, from a football perspective, I definitely have to give them all their respect. I even said it last week when they came out with the first college football rankings. They should be number 3.
Yeah.
That team up. Well, they're going to be top 4 now, but they should have been top 4 last.
I said, facts. They should have been.
They should not have been 5th. And then we see why they shouldn't have been 5th. Clemson
is Boo Boo Guy.
Because they run down the hill. They run down the hill to get on their field. That's the dumbest concept. As a football coach, I'd be so, walk down the hill. Like I'm talking to my little kids, like my younger kid, like, hey, don't run down that hill. Walk.
Yeah, I see an injury happening. I'm surprised ACLs ain't been torn.
Bruh, ACL, twisted ankle, blown out.
Surprised. Oh, well, Clemson's boo-boo.
I'm not saying that it's going to be an easy win, and I don't want it to be an easy win. I want to break the hearts of that whole state and every Wolverine. I want to see tears, the same tears that I had to hold back. I want the floodgates to get open. I want to beat them the same way that we beat them the year when JT Barrett didn't get the first down, because that they cheated.
I'm happy you said that, because they did not.
Oh, like, bro, if you've been a victim of cheating, or you've been on the other side of cheating.
Because we know y'all cheated us at 0-2. We won't get down that, with the phantom interference call.
We're
gonna do that, because I will text you. I will inbox you the tape.
Is Was
I
that
don't need to say this. It's right here.
Then you should know, Rob. We're not gonna get into that robbery.
You want me to call Doss up? I call my guy Doss right now.
I don't care.
That wasn't Willis that gave you, was it?
You want to play by play of how y'all lost? I give it to a guy that was actually on the field.
Call 911. I don't care. Call it. Pick him up. Pick up the phone. And I'll tell him UM and TIG. All up in him. I'll let him know. Like I said, we got Rob. Anyway, go Blue. When they play y'all, go Blue.
That was a good game.
Respect.
Yeah, man. But I'm gonna switch the angle real quick, man. Definitely a subject out there that a lot of people have been talking about. I just want to get y'all intake on it. You know what I mean? The Kyrie Irving situation, man. The Kyrie Irving situation. Don't all speak at once, but I see a lot of people's posts, profile pics turning into Team Kyrie. I'm with Kyrie and whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm one of them guys that don't try to dig deep on, you know what I'm saying, situations. I just like the game of basketball. I don't pay attention to the ins and outs of the situations, but I know there's a lot of other people do. You know what I mean? And I just want to, as far as how you and Moose could get from it, because I mean y'all aspect. What y'all don't all speak at once.
So from my perspective. Dang, how can I put this, man? Because I mean, I still got to keep my job. So,
amen.
I ain't gonna fire you. You got a job here.
Yeah. Just
all
in case.
All right. I tell you how much I get paid, so you can send me the check.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So we'll keep it really simple. Like, so there was a time. Oh, yeah, this is really easy. So there was a time, right, where our athletes actually was fighting for civil justice, for civil rights. Jim Brown, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, rest in peace to the great legend, the Celtic who just passed away.
Bill Russell, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. So these guys were on the forefront of fighting for equality, right? When no one was speaking up for us, Muhammad Ali as well. We're fighting for something. We have now gotten to a level, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying from what I think the perspective is. Y'all got it. Y'all got everything. We gave you millions. We gave it to you. Why would you disrespect us? We gave it to you. This is what you asked for, right? We asked. The civil rights got us through the door. We had a seat at the table. So in their minds, well then why are you snatching food off of my plate if you got your own plate and your own seat at the table? So instead of just having a seat at the table, how about we just up your whole livelihood? Because it's disrespectful to us. But it's never disrespectful to say anything in ill disregard to Black people. And I think we all know that. Like, there's the merry-go-round of, hey, whenever this happens, they never say anything. Why do we ever expect them to? We personally, in my opinion, are the only race that will get mud thrown on our face and taste it. This ain't that bad. I'll just sit here with it until it's to the point where now it's a common theme to be woke, to be righteous. But if you don't have the right articulation skills to get your point, they're going to eat you alive. I'm not saying Kyrie is right or wrong. I'm not going to share my personal opinion of what I feel he should be doing, but what I feel I definitely feel like when you have a job and you understand the guidelines of that job and who runs the company, I mean, if you don't care, then sacrifice it all. But if you do care, then use your platform to empower other people. Use your platform to these people that are in the streets, these people that are, it's midterm election time now. Use your resources, and Kyrie does that. But I'm never surprised that they take everything away from someone who speaks to the quintessential hand that is feeding you. Once we realize that we don't need them to feed us, once we realize that this system has never been constructed for us, and that instead of burning down the communities, how about we just walk out of their buildings? It's like, what if every black athlete was like, we don't like how Kyrie is done? What if LeBron would have took a different approach? Like saying, like, okay, maybe he did hurt y'all feelings, but y'all shouldn't have did this to him. I'm going to walk away from the game. Kevin Durant walks away from the game. Patrick Mahomes walks away from the game. Like, we've never empowered ourselves to do that kind of thing because we have no ownership. So when you don't have ownership, you don't have a voice. Because the ownership that we're fighting for was never meant for us to own in the beginning. So my opinion is, I got a job, right? And they tell me I got to do this, I got to do that. And if you do this, you're going to get fired.
Right.
I got a family to feed. I got mouths to feed. Like, I got a house to take care of. I personally can't afford to share my personal opinions at my job. Now, what I can do is take the resources from my job and empower people. Hey, bro, I like your message. Keep doing your thing. Here's whatever you need. Donate that. Get more books. Whatever you need to do. Whatever you're doing for the community, help me. Help me help you. You doing the food drive? Let me do that.
Right.
Continue to enrich the circumstances that you came from. Continue to enrich that. But you'll never have power until the power is yours.
Sound like a Captain Planet line. I got you though. Moose.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say publicly is that you need to watch what you say on social media. Social media was created to be highlights of life. It wasn't created to be the feature film. The problem is that millennials and Gen Z, but people who occupy social media, we use social media as diaries for our life when that's not what they're meant for. Social media is legit meant for you to share highlights. They're meant to be replays of your life. They're not meant to be an entire reel.
Your personal highlight. Your personal highlight.
So
what's on your mind?
Right.
Yeah. So it's like I share 1% of what I think on social media. And it's usually I use social media to share my faith. I use social media to talk about sports and like social stuff. But even in social stuff, I share like 1% of my thoughts. Only my closest homies, like my 3 to 5 homies, really know how I feel about every situation. And my wife. Even my marriage, like my wife and I have been together 10 years. We've been married 5 years this past Saturday. Like I think I posted maybe 5 pictures about thanks. Appreciate it, bro. I think I shared maybe 5 pictures about me and my wife. I've never shared anything about our relationship because you don't even know. It's my house. Between me and my wife. You don't even know anything that goes on between my wife and I. So like it's the same thing with Kyrie. I'll say it's like, bro, like you need to be conscious about what you share, and you need to understand the ramifications of what you share, because what you share has ramifications, regardless if you like it or not, regardless if it's fair or not. It don't matter. When you share things, you gotta be prepared to lose it all. So, and my issue with Kyrie has always been this: Kyrie wants to be the smartest guy in the room, but doesn't never want to take the ownership for his mind. Like, never. That's always my issue with Kyrie. Kyrie wants to be the smartest guy in the room. He's never humble enough to say I was wrong. He's never humble enough to say I'm learning something. He's never humble enough to explain anything. He just puts thoughts out there. He said, I'm Kyrie, you like it or not. And he doesn't think there's ramifications for what you post. bro. There are. Like
I mean,
there are.
like
Yeah.
he didn't even watch the whole movie that he posted. That like.
Yeah, and there are things as black men and black women in this world that we have to move differently, and that's just how we have to do. Like,
Right.
bro, you don't get to move how you want to move, bro. We don't live in Wakanda. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get to move how you move,
Right.
and just respect to humanity, bro. Like, you have to understand, bro. Like, my thinking, me putting this out into the world, how is this going to affect somebody else? How is
Right.
this going to like? What is this going to do to somebody else's psyche, whatever?
Right.
So yeah, you just gotta be watchful of what you post, man, and just know when to shut up and not post stuff. Like, I mean, I had to learn that when I was younger, because when I first got on MySpace and all that stuff, I used to post everything and share all my.
I'm not even gonna say, because I mean, I'm 41, so like as far as like social media came in my 20s, and I should have known better then, bro. I was in my 30s, like
Right.
thinking like people cared about my thoughts and like you learn quickly though. Like I learned because I just a bit of transparency, like just bouts of mental health issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with depression, feeling like using Facebook or Twitter as an outlet. People, it's just like a car wreck. Imagine this: how many times do people actually like take in the just the beautiful landscape if you drive it? Oh man, look at how beautiful the sky is. It's just clear. Nobody really does that. But let it be a car wreck. You
slow it down. Slow down the traffic. Yeah, facts.
You looking.
Yeah.
So it's always great to log into, excuse my language, the shit show. It's like I'm not even above to say, man, when there's some drama on Facebook, I'm gonna click in the comments to see.
I'm gonna pull up to see what the comments say. That's crazy.
On that person's profile to see why they say that. Then I see they post. So it's like a soap opera.
Right.
The thing about my problem with Kyrie is saying I have a platform. I have a platform. You don't own any of the platforms that you're using. You don't own Twitter. You don't own the media. What platform do you have? Do you not understand that this is their platform and you can't talk about them like that? That's like me going to Moose's house, and he's a Tiger guy, right? And he might have Tiger memorabilia in his house. And I walk by and I knock it over. Whatever, because I believe in McKinley.
In his house.
That's my platform.
Right. In his house.
My platform. But I'm in Moose's house.
Right.
TIG what, man? Get out of here, man.
Right.
You looking like, man, I done had that since I was a kid.
Right.
This is something that I cherish. This is something that I believe in.
Yeah.
You can't go to nobody's house with your beliefs.
Right.
I mean, you can, but you have to respectfully share them. Whether or not you feel like, oh, this is what the problem of the black man is, or the black community is, when one of us actually, bruh, was Kyrie gonna save us?
You gotta be willing, and I'll say this, bro. You gotta be willing to count the cost, man. Like I always hear, I heard Uncle Shay say this on Undisputed. Kyrie wants to be a martyr, but he's not willing to pay the cost to be a martyr. And that's what it is. It's like you want to be put that down. You want to be remembered as a martyr, but you're not willing to risk that. Like if you are, like, all right, NBA, I'm done. Like I'm done hooping. Like that's what I think Kyrie really should do. Like if you really say, like if you just want to, like there's this fine balance between like saying what you believe versus like I ain't gonna say nothing. Like the whole like Kevin Durant or Michael Jordan in the 90s. All Republicans buy my shoes too. Like I ain't saying you gotta be not being human and just hoop, man. Like what's your opinion? But you gotta know too, like he's saying, you gotta know whose house you in. Like you gotta know, bro. Like I can't share everything that I want to share out like openly. I can share this with but you gotta count the cost. If you want to share it, then know that there's a penalty that comes.
He ain't no victim.
He ain't like you're not a victim, bro.
Irving being stripped from Nike. Phil Knight is a white man. Phil Knight has investors. Some of those investors probably follow the faith that is offended by Kyrie's actions.
Mm-hmm.
What we doing? Adam Silver is Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
What we doing? Hey, Brooklyn, what we doing?
Yeah, what we doing?
He apologized yet? Now the Nets have given a 6-point criteria of what he need. I've never seen this in my life, bro. Because you know what? These people that run these platforms are tired of us. Like, who do you think you are? Again, the scenario with Moose, I would have to get out of Moose's house and never come back again if I broke something in there.
That's a fact. Yeah, facts.
He gonna be, hey, bro, you can never come here again. Or, hey, I call Moose up, hey, bro, I'm sorry. Moose gonna give me a criteria of what it takes to get back into his house. All right, bro, you're gonna have to apologize to me, my wife, my kids. You made them cry.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to rebuy the thing that you broke. You're gonna have to do some things to make up. Because with every wrong that you do, you have to make it right. And they gave him 6 points because the man posted a movie. By the way, the same movie was played in Shaquille O'Neal's Newark, New Jersey's theater. So while we got these black talking heads that denounce what Kyrie is doing, you're not like, even though I don't even think that Shaq even knew that the movie was being played, it's your business.
Yeah.
And in you have to represent that, and you have to die with the decisions sometimes that are made by your business and your business practices.
That's true.
Kyrie, ultimately, Kanye, the same thing, even though Kanye is not a sports figure.
Yeah.
But he was jeopardizing people. He had Donda sports agency, Jaylen Brown, and the world's best
Aaron Donald.
They all did.
Player ever was on there. You talking about Aaron Donald, the scariest defensive player today.
Mm-hmm.
And because, again, you jumping out the window, you're affecting that person's livelihood. Because those Jewish people are looking like, well, do you share those beliefs?
Which is why I say, bro, and this is all I'll say. This is why I say. The one thing I will say is I think, I think you gotta be watchful, man. And like, I think the worst thing people can do, and I hate this about our society, is cancel people, because it leaves no room for forgiveness. It leaves no room for anything. And when it comes to Kyrie and Kanye and all that, man, just shut up.
I'm telling you right now, like,
count the cost. That's all I'm gonna say. Shut up and count the cost, bro.
The cancel culture. I mean, imagine if that was just real life. Giving your faith.
It's the PJs. I gotta play it. What you done?
Giving your faith, right, and whatever you believe in.
Facts.
Every faith has a point of redemption.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever faith that you have, it has a point of redemption. It has things you have to do to redeem yourself. Either, sometimes it's repentance, sometimes it's meditating. Whatever it is, what it really boils down to is humility.
Facts.
And today's society is not based upon humility
at all.
It's based upon, like, how does a generation that grew up watching South Park, and like, I'm talking about like Family Guy, how does a generation become so sensitive?
Right.
Because that question is easily answered. It's because, like, people's moral compasses outweigh reality.
Right.
Well, I believe this. Well, I believe this.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're enemies. Because our belief systems are different. Like, morally, we have to be different. And morally, we have to be enemies. Kyrie spoke out and didn't even articulate himself though. That's where I have the problem with, because some of the belief system of what he is trying to articulate, there is truth in that. There is originality in the black man. There is some truth in that, in the Hebrew aspect of it. But Kyrie, you ain't the nigga to be doing it. You ain't the nigga to be talking about it. I'm sorry, you not. You like we talk about giving people chances, but then like when you show me who you are constantly, like Moose was saying, like Uncle Shay was saying, like you constantly want to be the guy who reads a book, and just because I ain't read it, you like, you ain't up on game. Well, put me on, explain it. And then when you ask him to explain it, he shows you that nigga didn't read the book either. You skimmed through it.
Yeah. Tough, man. Tough conversation.
Kyrie might not ever play again, bro.
Yeah, tough conversation, man.
I don't think he should. In my opinion, I don't think he should. The reason why
I got the last pair of Kyries that they
it's because he'll never. That's why I say he'll never shut up, and that's okay. Like if that's what you want to do and walk your life that way, you can walk your life that way. But the consequences are you'll never be able to hoop again in the NBA, and that's okay.
I also, as a black man, I do pray that if this is the path that Kyrie is going to take, do your research. Surround yourself with people that really know, that have the knowledge.
That's why you need to shut up. You need to shut up more and listen more. Instead of trying to be the leader and the voice of the people, you need to be the listener of the people. It's the man that always talks more and knows the least. So shut up.
Man in the world.
Stop. Just stop talking. Stop talking. So
facts.
Shout out to the Lakers, man.
I was about to say, I wasn't about to say nothing about them yet. I was going to bring up.
Shout out to the Cavs, man. They just beat the Lakers.
Yeah, they did.
Shout out to the Cavs too.
I've seen that too. I'm gonna give the Houston Astros respect. They got a black owner.
Man.
Shout out to Dusty Baker.
Who is that? The black guy?
Yeah, he the manager. He the manager, man. Shout out to the Astros.
Shout out to all my A's.
Shout out to, I had to give them their P's. They wanted
bump the Astros, man. Bump them. Shout out to the Red Sox, man.
That's my favorite team is the Boston Red Sox, and my second team is the Guardians. But,
shout out to the A's, man. I got a lot of family and homies from the A's. They still celebrating right now, so I'm happy for them, and I'm happy for Dusty Baker, man. Because
facts.
I'm serious. Like Dusty Baker deserves this. I'm not really I can't even say I have a favorite baseball team. I'll be honest. Like I used to like the Yankees. I used to like the Indians, just because I was supposed to.
Right.
Ultimately, like
they got the most clothes in the store.
I'm from
like the Dodgers,
Ohio.
Yeah. Oh yeah, facts. Facts.
Shout out to the Boss Town.
Boston Red Sox. That's my squad.
Bump everybody else, man.
No, I rock with the Guardians too.
Shout out to the Red Sox.
I rock with the Indians, man.
But I rock with them too.
Man, anyways, man, move on.
We're gonna talk about the Lakers. Talking about the
Trey Brown.
The
Trey
laziness.
Brown.
The lazy. Is it the laziness of LeBron? Is it the quote unquote sickness of LeBron? Is Russell Westbrook the best player on the Laker team right now? I don't know what it is. I haven't watched because I'm just like
today's game.
These cats is today. All I seen was a score. I seen LeBron.
I watched the game,
but
I watched it.
That the last game or the game before.
I watched the game.
I got league pass, so I watched the game.
I got another website.
I got that too. But I be putting I got that one too. Sometimes the other websites, because that's definitely how I watch the Bengals. I definitely have a website for that. Don't come for me either, y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let me live, man.
Anyway, you can get around. But I'm loving my opinion. I really don't have really much to say. I'm loving what Westbrook is doing coming off the bench, even though he's still playing starter minutes dang near. But him coming off the bench, sparking it and doing his thing,
Sixth man of the year.
This saved Russell Westbrook's career because it looked like he wasn't playing no more after this year. But now it looks like people might be like, you know what? I might want to trade for him. I might want to You know what I'm saying? He's starting to give me that glimpse of the old Russ.
6 man of the year, somebody else's jersey.
And LeBron is starting to look like the old LeBron, and not old like Cavalier LeBron, like old like Father Time is on your head. That's what it's starting to look like.
It's funny how he got those commercials of like LeBron versus Father Time.
Yeah,
and that's the parody part. That's the like about like parodies before. Like I be feeling like LeBron is a part of like some type of weird cycle of anomalies and like
he's a part of something.
Like for you to be like one, but then it's just proof again. We just talked about social media. Once you have, because you was always gonna have like Skip Baylesses in media and stuff like that. That was, but now you got us. Now you got everybody else that might be a LeBron detractor that just brings out every shortcoming of LeBron on each and every night. It's a guy that other than Skip Bayless and other LeBron detractors, it's people that just dedicate their time. And at 20 years in the league, I mean, I think it'd be easy to say that anybody has lost a step.
He loved LeBron. Listen, I'm a LeBron fan. You already know what time it is.
You know what it is.
LeBron, and I gotta keep it real. LeBron is pissing me off. He is pissing me off, bro. It's hard to watch what this man is doing.
Like 8-9 games in the season.
I know it's early. I'm not, but there are clear games that if he. But see, this is what I can't do, and that's why I'm just like I can't put Kobe or Michael Jordan's killer instinct in LeBron's head. So it seems like that's what I'm saying. So sometimes I think with LeBron being 6'8", 280 or 290, he forgets that he's 6'9", 290.
He like 250 now. He like 250 now. He like 250.
Whatever he is, LeBron knows. He can freight train through anybody in the league, but yet he still wants to settle.
Listen, man.
Donald's status.
I know he's at 290, but it was Zion.
Yeah, no, he's not that. Yeah, about between 250, 270, but
man.
He's killing me, bro. He's killing me.
Man.
It's hard to watch.
It is. Listen, Bron played actually well today.
He did.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah. He could not just because of scoring, but because
he controlled the flow of the game today.
He controlled the flow of the game. The Lakers' problem. When I say Trey Brown and AD and Russ, I as a Laker fan, I had this thought today. I had this thought about Anthony Davis, about the whole trade. That trade is going to go down as the biggest fleece I feel like in Laker history. This is what I feel like. We got a championship out the bubble with AD, right? But that's it.
Even one of the family. That's why niggas got tired.
These man, and it don't matter. You can give you all the reasons why. The chip is the chip. Stop. Get out of here with that. 17 banners, man. Anyways, like I said, man,
I'm taking.
Chip. Yeah, it's a chip, bro. Stop that. Anyway, I mean, and especially when NBA players said that was the highest level of competition they've had. I mean, so anyway,
if the Heat would have won, it would have mattered.
So anyway,
oh my
God. So I'm gonna say this, man. We have set up the Pelicans franchise for a long time. And this is what we thought was. See this right here? Can y'all see this? I know y'all can't see these numbers.
No, I can't see numbers. I see Anthony Davis though.
This is Anthony Davis, like in the 2018 Western Conference semis. He averaged 27, almost 28 points a game, 15 rebounds, 2.5 steals, and he averaged 2 blocks a game. Game 1, he had 21-10, 3 steals, 1 turnover. Game 2, 25-15, 5 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Game 3, 33-18, 3-4. Game 4, 26-12. Game 5, he had 35, 20 rebounds and 3 steals.
That's it. there.
That Anthony Davis is no longer walking through the door. It's gone.
That Anthony Davis never even came to L.A.
It's in the bubble. We seen hints of that. In the bubble, we seen hints of that. We seen hints of it. But that complete package, it's not coming. It's not coming through the door
at all.
I've seen Anthony Davis the last two games against the Cavs and the Jazz put up 17 against the Cavs in the first half, and then put up 22 in the first half against the Jazz, and score and finish the game with 24 against the Jazz, and finish the game with 19 against the Cavs.
2 points.
My issue is with Anthony Davis because Russ, great off the bench. I still want to trade you because I want to get younger.
Yeah.
But Anthony Davis, I've been holding out on this because defensively he's played great.
Of course.
But I want to trade him for whatever package we can trade him for, and I want to trade him now. Because
you can't just say that because as a fan, you dreamed up.
No. This is why I'm saying this though. This is why I'm saying
Russ?
this. I want to trade Russ too, but I'm saying though, if we put AD on the block, somebody's gonna take him.
Facts.
Russ is harder to get rid of.
Did you keep Russ?
This is the thing I'm gonna say about Anthony Davis. Why I said I want him traded. I appreciate the chip, but Bron is older.
Facts.
Anthony Davis, it was supposed to be the next guy, like the guy on the team now. And then when Bron set off in the sunset, he was supposed to be the guy on the team.
I agree.
I do not want Anthony Davis as the number one option on my basketball team.
I don't either.
I do not. As a Laker fan, that will remain when LeBron James is gone.
Right.
I do not want Anthony Davis as the number one option on my ball club.
I wouldn't either.
So therefore, put him on the freaking trade block.
Yeah, get him out of here.
Put him on the trade block. Get some picks and get another and get something else. That's not going to happen. That's in my dream world. It's not going to happen because then Bron will request a trade. And if that's the case, trade him too.
Yeah, get him out of there. Get him all out there. Get him all out there.
Too. Yeah. Trade him too. Get him to somewhere else. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. It'll give me more pieces of Laker fan because then I got less Bron fans on my team again. Trust me. But I'm just saying, man, Bron fans, you know how I feel about LeBron fans.
I'm a
LeBron fan. I can't stand Bron.
No, but he's not talking about us. He's talking about the Bron sexuals. The Bron
sexuals. Bro, I can't stand LeBron fans because nothing is LeBron's fault. Same thing with Jordan fans. Like nothing's Jordan's fault. Jordan is like, bro, okay, bro, they human beings. They ain't God, bro.
Right? Yeah.
Stuff is weird.
Right.
So.
Oh, he gone.
I don't know, man. That's that Georgia internet.
Yeah, that Jordan talk.
Yeah, so that man. I don't know. I'm frustrated. I'm definitely frustrated. I mean, that's a frustration.
It's hard.
I'm irritated. I'm supremely irritated. And, I mean, our pieces aren't any good. Like
at all.
Our pieces aren't any good. Like
we still in the game. We're playing great defense.
Yeah, man. And it's always a meltdown in the third quarter. I love
always.
Darvin Ham is going to be the freaking chopping block person, and then he shouldn't be. I think they should give him time.
Yeah.
It's next year we're going to have cap space. Like, I love what Russ is doing. I love he's getting a little love right now, but
I'm glad he's doing what he's doing so people can look at him and actually accept the trade.
Yeah, that's
because if he kept playing like trash, they wasn't nobody going to trade for that.
Please,
I just glimpses again, so they cats might be like, you know what, I won't buy out his contract. I'm gonna let him play, and I'll do the trade.
Yeah, I just want somebody to trade for him so he can get off my team. We can just get some youthfulness. Like I just want some youthfulness. But
my dream world is Anthony Davis, Anthony Davis and Patrick Beverly for DeMar DeRozan.
Nah,
that's my dream world.
Because DeMar DeRozan old. I don't want nobody
How old
old.
Is he?
He like 34, 35. I don't want.
I didn't know that. Bro.
Yeah. No,
I didn't know that, bro.
Old. Yeah, I don't
oh yeah, he was playing in Toronto for a little bit. You right?
He's 33. He a year older than me.
He
just turned 33.
Yeah, he was in Toronto.
Yeah.
For a
no. If I'm trading Anthony Davis ain't 30 yet.
He's not 30 yet.
No, he's like 28.
He's playing that old and he's not 30 yet.
I mean, his body is shot.
Dang.
Yeah, Anthony Davis is
29.
Yeah, 29.
What?
He'll be 30 next year in March. So in a couple months,
I
he'll be
didn't
30.
know he was that young, yo.
Yeah, Anthony Davis.
He should be.
And I'll say this though, in his defense, he's playing out of position. Now he has to play the 5 because that's Darvin Ham's spot. That's why we should have. That's why I want Miles Turner so bad.
Yeah,
but,
Turner. Yeah.
Like I said, man. This year's going to be a wash. I don't see them keeping the same roster. I see them shaking some stuff out. But like right now, I mean, this year's going to be a wash. Next year's going to be a wash, and then next year might not be a wash. We'll see because we'll have cap space. But this year, if we don't make moves, it's a wash.
Wow.
That's all I'll say. And Bron, the question is, does this hurt Bron's legacy? Because the Lakers fit's been a failure.
The what?
It's been his time with the Lakers has been a failure.
Yeah.
He's
he only had one good season.
He's had like the teams had one really good season. I mean, other than that, I mean the Lakers weren't. I mean, They did have a lot.
He did have a lot. Like he has not played with Anthony Davis at all like that, except for after the bubble. That cat been injured like crazy. Then when the 1 year Russ played all those games, but Anthony Davis only played 30 games. Then Bron was out that 1 year for dang near 30 games. So at the end of the day, it's a bust regardless of you playing or you not. You still, when they say that Lakers, when they announce those teams, your name is on that joint, so you still got to be accountable.
Because Brian brought Anthony Davis here. He pushed Lonzo, BI, all them out the door.
Everybody who eating in the league right now, every player he kicked.
I'll say this though. Brian and Brandon Ingram was never going to work together.
I
don't think because Brandon Ingram, they're too ball dominant. They need the ball. Brandon Ingram's a scorer. I don't think it would have worked with them too. So I definitely think Brandon Ingram would have had would have had to have be gone anyway. I miss Kuz. I didn't think I ever said I miss Kuz.
You know who I miss, bro? I miss Zubac, bro.
I miss Zubac. I miss Caruso.
Yeah.
I miss
it was different, bro. It was different. It was different, man.
Yeah, I miss all them dudes, man. But yeah, I mean, we got Utah, I think. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, at this point, I have no expectations.
Patrick called my phone again, of course, trying to talk about the Lakers. I said, we have an excuse. You don't. For Golden State to be 2-7 or 3-7 or whatever.
Yeah. Golden State.
Don't even come to me with that. You got a whole squad, boy. You ain't got no excuse.
Would you take Draymond Green for Anthony Davis?
Man, why is that? Back in the day, you have to be like, man, you crazy. That sounds stupid. Now it's like, I don't think I would though. I don't think I would.
I don't think I would either. I wouldn't either.
Anthony Davis, even though his numbers is low, he's still giving me what I need.
Because then Anthony Davis will magically turn into a dog in Golden State because they figured out the juice. And then he averaging 28 and 14 and he's dogging.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that either. I don't want to see that either. But all right, man.
All right, man.
All right, bro. I'm going to get with you, man.
Yep.
All right, bro.